Hello, James from WTB here, and in this video we're going to check out exactly what makes up the TCS Tubeless system and how it deals with those pesky punches out on the trail. You may be wondering what a tubeless system is. Well, basically it's made up of rims or rims built into complete wheels, some tubeless tape, some valves, a tyre around the outside, and then finally the active ingredient inside, the TCS Tubeless Tire Sealant. This complete system creates an airtight seal, so there's no more need for inner tubes. You've got your sealant working inside to stop all of those punches while you're riding along. Now you know what a tubeless system is made up of, let's go outside and see how it works. Okay, so here we've got a complete tubeless setup ready to ride. There's about 100 ml of sealant in there, and I'm going to make sure the pressure is at around 35 psi, so it's a common pressure that a lot of riders would ride at with a gravel tyre of this size. We've got a Nano 40 here, so let's set that pressure and then we'll start the experiment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pierce the tyre with a few different objects, varying in size. They're going to get bigger each time, and we'll see how the sealant does its job. First object we're going to pierce the tyre with is this spiky, sharp object, riding over a nail when you're out on your ride. So come and have a look at this. So right in between the tread, and we're in. Now, if that was an inner tube, that would be a puncher, right? So I'm going to pull that out. That would be ride stopper. You'd have to change the tube. When I pull this out, it's going to start to lose air. Watch what happens when I spin the wheel and the sealant gets to the hole. Sealant's done its job. Let's check how much pressure it's lost in that process. So 32. So all you've lost there is roughly 2 psi. Probably wouldn't notice that while you're riding. I mean, that's done its job great. Let's try something bigger. Just going to top it back up for the second test now. Make sure it's back up to your ride-in pressure of 34, 35 psi. The next object, screwdriver. Quite a small one. Rough edges, so it's quite different to the last thing we pierced it with. Similar sort of place, in between the tread. Probably quite hard to get through. Okay, we're in. When I pull this out, it's going to start going down. Let's see if the sealant can fill the hole. And there we go, sealant done its job. Let's try something else. Item number 3, we're back at 35 psi. And this time we're going to use this kind of a hook with a screw thing on the end. I'm going to screw it in, perhaps screw it out a little bit and then give it a yank, so it might be quite a messy hole. Got them pliers? Yes, we're in. It's quite a decent puncher, this one. Let's see if it does it. You can see where the sealant has filled the gap, gelled together, and yeah, no more puncher. I mean, the average pressure loss is definitely 2 psi, right? Should we go bigger? Here's the screwdriver we tried earlier. This is the one we're going to try now. Fair difference in size. You're impressed, didn't you, Paul?
Very impressed.
Here looks as good a place as any. It's taking some force, this. Oh, come on! I'm in. Whew. What's your thoughts, Paul?
This ain't gonna hold.
No?
Nope.
Okay, let's see. Give a little rinse. You can see there where the sealant's plugged the gap, just like last time. What's your thoughts on pressure?
3 psi lost.
3 loss?
2.
2. I'm gonna say 3 because it was quite a large hole. So 29 this time. We've lost a little bit more there. I mean, that is a fair size. Should we try something bigger? This is a large screwdriver. We've just measured it at 6 millimeters across the end. Pretty much 6 mil, maybe just over, but it's about 6 mil. Who knows? First, let's get it back to 35 psi and see how it goes. Just to show you all again, 35. I've got an idea. we'll start the hole with a smaller one and then get this in afterwards. So here's one of the holes that we used last time. We're going to try and get this screwdriver back through that hole that previously sealed. Oh, definitely bigger than 6 mil. What are we saying, Paul? Is it going to seal?
I'm in the middle on this one.
Oh! Oh! That has sealed. Let's wash it off and see it. Let's check out the damage. Look at the size of that. I think it's fair to say if you had an inner tube, that probably would have stopped your ride. John, on the camera, how much pressure has this lost? It did do a few rotations before it sealed, didn't it? So
25.
25, so 10 psi loss. I reckon it's on 20, maybe just over. I mean, the main thing is you could stop, top it up a little bit with a pump, and then you're back to normal anyway. You haven't got to, you know, just under 18. So if you ride over something like that on your bike ride, you may have to stop and put a little bit more air in your tyre so it's back to normal. You definitely wouldn't have to stop and put an inner tube in because... So Paul's just asked the question, how much pressure could we put back in this tyre before any one of those 5 repairs fails? There's only one way to find out. Okay, on the analog gauge we're up to 40. Oh, I can hear a little whistle. So what I'm going to do is give it a spin. There we are, it's resealed. Here's that large one again. Let's have a quick look at it. I mean, that's a serious bit of damage. Let's see what pressure we took that up to then. There we are, 40. I mean, that's more than we had in the start, and it's holding. Okay, now we've got pretty much the same setup, but with a mountain bike tyre. It's actually a dual ply casing, which means much thicker rubber. So my guess this time is it's going to lose less pressure with each puncture repair. 25 to start. Okay, first object. And we're in. Little mark where it's fixed itself there. Let's test the pressure. No PSI lost. Okay, moving up a size to the smaller of the screwdrivers. Oosh. Okay, are you ready? That was the first one. There's the second one. All sealed. 24. I'll put that 1 PSI back in to get it all square. 25 again, and then we're going to go up the size. So this is what we're going to use now. Come on. Oof, we're in. There it is. Let's wash it off and you can see all the sealant that's stuck together. Wow.
23.
23. This guy knows. Well done, John. Back to the large screwdriver. Put it back through one of the older holes, I think. Oh, we're in. That's just because it's gone over. I mean, it's sealed though. Completely sealed. Let's wash it off and have a look. That was a big, I mean that, we just jammed that huge screwdriver through there. So we've lost 4, from 25 down to 21. Seals punches up to 6mm. That has got to be 10. The very end is 7.5. Realistically, it's going to stab through a little bit, so it's going to be closer to probably 8, 9 mil. Okay, I mean that's in. When I let it go, this is gonna go. what was that, 3 rotations? So it took 3 rotations to seal. Let's wash it off, have a look, and then we'll put some air in it and see how much pressure it can hold. Look at that. That's a big gap.
That's a big
That was
gap,
10
that
mil.
is, like.
That was 10 mil. I'm going to put pressure back in now. Bit more, bit more, bit more. And we'll see how much pressure we can get in the tyre before the repair gives way. I'm sure the other ones, really, the smaller ones, will be totally fine. It'll be keeping our eye on this one. And have a look on the gauge. You can see as I was adding more pressure, it kind of grew a little bit and it's resealed. Oh, there we go. Let's give it a... There it is. Let's see what pressure we've got in. 32. I don't run a front tyre at 32 psi. I mean, that says it all, doesn't it? Any one of those punches would have been a ride stopping instant had there been an inner tube in there. It would have been wheel off, new tube, pump it back up before you can get going. With a good tubeless setup, all you need to do at worst is put a bit more pressure in before you can get going at the same pressure you were at before. So, I mean, if that's not a good reason why to ditch tubes and go tubeless, I don't know what is. We have actually got a tutorial video we made, so if you want to set yourself up tubeless, you can check the video just here. And we've got all sorts of other tutorials and informational videos, so if you subscribe to our channel, we're uploading those all the time. You can look back what we've made before, and yeah, go and try it out.